All right. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Hope y'all are doing well. Let's see, what do we got here today? Yeah, hope everybody's had a good week so far. Mine's been okay. It's been a wet one. I've been looking forward to having time to go out and actually do some yard work. We have some hedges around our house that are kind of overgrown a little bit that I really want to get a start on to trim back. So I've been doing some reading and research on hedge maintenance, and apparently I can cut them back pretty aggressively in the spring to hopefully get them to grow out and fill out in kind of a more desirable shape over the next couple of years. So I've been wanting to do that, but I can't put a ladder down on the ground because it's too wet, and I don't want to sink in and, fall while holding hedge trimmers. That seems like a very dangerous and bad idea. So I've been kind of waiting for that to dry out. But the forecast calls for thunderstorm today, or maybe just heavy rain. Either way, it's not looking good for being able to actually do yard work this weekend. So I don't know. We'll see. And then I also don't want to disturb any of the birds or creatures that are nesting in there. So I don't want to wait too long into the spring for them to like fully set up a nest inside of there and then cut it away. So I'm kind of really running a precarious balance of like, when do I go out to do this? I don't know. We'll see. I'll update you on the riveting tale of the hedges, the battle against the hedges tomorrow, or next week on Monday, probably. Because I know you're all riveted and wanting to hear about this more. Okay. Cool. I have given enough time, I think. One of the goals... So the reason I'm blathering on is one of the other things that I want to work on while doing these streams is get better at small talk, because as you can maybe have tell maybe from what I was talking about, I'm not great at it, but it is something that I think is a skill that I can develop through talking to a camera, talking to y'all. So let me know if that was, well, I'll let myself know, because I'll watch back the first 5 minutes to see how entertaining or engaging I was. I'm not super hopeful this week. That's fine. Whatever. We'll keep going. My earphone seems to be cutting off my arm today. I wonder why. Is it too close? Am I too loud? Oh, sorry for blowing out anybody's ears who's wearing headphones. I should think that through better next time. Yeah, okay. Well, we'll keep it back there. Maybe that's better. All right. So, hello. Let's get started on the drawing portion of painting portion of today. As always, I'm going to be taking a look at last week's art, kind of giving a bit of a critique, figuring out what I want to focus on for this week, and by that point, we'll then decide what I'm going to draw. So, if you have any suggestions, feel free to drop them into the chat, and I will keep an eye on that. Yeah, so let's see. Are we set up for it? We are. Great. So, what am I looking at here? We are looking at Faye from last week, which overall, as a whole, I do enjoy the piece. Oh, once again, and I'm going to try to be better about this, just going over quickly the setup that I have. I have a display tablet looking at down here, so I'm looking at, I think it's only 12 or 13 inch tablet down this direction. Chat is up here. Camera is there, obviously. I'm working in the drawing program Krita with, I have Jazza's brush set, and my current favorite one is Jazza's oil brush. Oils Thick, I think is what it's called. So that's what I generally tend to paint with. Yeah, so that's the setup. Let's take a look at the art. Overall, I'm very happy with how it came out. it does feel kind of like, even though it's a lot of cold colors, it feels kind of warm and fluffy, just kind of as a vibe, which I think makes sense given, you know, you get the Fae down cloak from Fae, and it becomes nice and warm. Let's actually go to a larger scene. Yeah. So I like the way this side actually is rendered with like the warm light here, and it just kind of fading off into like a cooler shadows. This side less so. I'm not quite sure what is going on with the shading there. I don't need a menu. So I think I don't know what's missing here. It feels like the light is not coming from the same place, because I feel like there should be some light here and not just here. So I think I could probably improve that. The other thing that I'm not quite sure about is like this section, these things here. I'm not entirely sure what I was trying to do there. I think I was trying to do some rim lighting or edge lighting around it to show that it's a couple of layers of ruffles. But if that's the case, I probably should have either brought it down further here or had it follow the edges of the actual shaded area, which it very clearly doesn't right now. So I'm not... That's kind of the biggest confusing bit. Oh, and then I just fully didn't render any of the actual physical body of Fae here, so it's just kind of a dark massive blob, which as a whole for the piece, it doesn't really detract from anything. I just feel like I could have added just a little bit of something in there, like even just a bit of extra shading, like some ambient occlusion shading here, and then like a little bit of shading down there. Might have done something to like really sell the shape of it, maybe, or even just like a line of the exoskeleton there. Just something to add a little bit to it. In Hornet's Cloak, I have a little bit of extra shading in there in the ambient occlusion part. So yes, it's a different color, but I can see that I shaded it a little bit. So, given more time, that's probably what I should have done. But again, it's not a terrible thing. Morning, Bassfly. How's it going? Thanks for stopping by again. Yeah, I don't really have that much to critique about this. Overall, the vibes I think work well. It is a cold colors, but it feels warm when I look at it. There is detail where there needs to be. The platform itself as well, like down in this area here, is very sparse, but it's enough to imply that there's something there. So I think that's fine. I'm okay with that. Yeah. This week, I think something that I was doing kind of not super consciously, but I want to try to focus on is like using detail to draw attention to something. In this case, I wouldn't mind, because the detail in this is like around here on the wings, and maybe some of around Hornet's face, which is fine, but I wouldn't mind trying to work on, well, actually there's enough detail here because we got the shiny in the eyes and the various colors. I wouldn't mind trying to work on a piece this week to really focus on using detail to draw the eye to the main focus points. So I think that's maybe what I'll do. I'm going to try, I think, a couple weeks ago I did a group, like the fight scene that was pushing myself to do a bunch of characters. I think this week I want to do a single character and really focus on working on the details, because I think that's kind of where my skills are lacking. I feel like I'm doing pretty well at showing the big shapes and like the big overall brush strokes, but I don't have super fine control of, again, like little details. Like, again, I could have... Faye's a tough one, because Faye doesn't really actually have a whole lot of details in the head area where I would like to do that. But, yeah. Oh, also, I just realized that I don't really have anything indicating that this is like the scream from Faye that is blowing Hornet's cloak back. So I think maybe if I had done just some like VFX, like just showing that it's coming from Faye, maybe. Although it'd probably be a circle here. Something like that, anyway. Not a huge deal. The overall vibe, I think, works just fine. And I do like the motion of Hornet's cloak overall. Yeah, pretty happy with the piece as a whole. So let's move on to today's piece and try to figure out what it is that we want to do. So let's grab my pencil, do a thumbnail here, and think about what it is that I want to do. Maybe we do, because I want to try to focus on bringing attention to a focal point with detail. We could do maybe Chakra has that pointy head. Chakra is here. She does. I think she does a squat as she's working on her maps, right? She's got her hand down on the. We'll just invent some parchment or something. Does she have a quill? What does she write with? I'll have to look that up in a second. And what is her arm doing? Her arm would be going behind her leg and then up and resting on it, maybe? So she's got like a... She's got the discs here. I mean, we could do that. It's not really super dynamic. I don't know if that's very interesting, and I don't know what I would focus on with detail here. Which, again, maybe trying to do this for Hollowknight is not the best idea, because I don't know, Hollowknight's a very simple art style, so bringing things out with in detail is maybe just going to give us the like Handsome Squidward Uncanny Valley kind of vibe. Or not necessarily Handsome Squidward, but in SpongeBob when they do the super close-ups to SpongeBob's face and it's very upsetting. I don't really want to convey an upsetting tone in the art. So that's that. So that is something I'll have to be conscious of as I try to add a bunch of details. I could do maybe something just simple, like just Hornet sitting on a bench. We'll zoom in here. Hornet head here. Some ornate bench, something or other. Hornet has the map out, maybe? We do some like spotlight on her under a street lamp thing, which I don't actually know if that exists anywhere in the game or if that's just fully made up. Also, right now the bench looks like a couch. I'll fix that. I would fix that. How would I fix that? Would it be like just trying to do the wrought iron swirlies? Or is it just like... No, still looks like a couch. It's fine. I'm not super enthusiastic about that particular image either at the moment. It's not inspired. Alright, what is it that I'm going to be doing? I'm going to be probably wandering around a whole bunch next stream, trying to explore a bunch more. So I think that's why I'm focused on the map. We could do... point of view, we're looking at the map, so we have ooh, how big is Hornet's Head in this case? Are we just the top of Hornet's Head, and we have the cloak here? Oh, and then do I have to draw them? I'll have to look up the map. So we got what, like big blank area up here for bile water. We got the high halls this way. I'm not going to be able to do that in 2 hours. That's not a feasible drawing. Don't hate the idea. It's just not happening. I can't. I won't be able to get that done in time. So maybe that's a future thing when I have the map fully filled out. Because yeah, and then Hornet's hand would be here. Pulling it out wide. Wait, hang on. Shoulder here. Arm. So, cloak would be here. Open and falling down. Again, not super dynamic, not really the vibe that I want to go for. Let's see what else. Is there something I can do? Because, again, one of the things that I'm going to be trying to do is finding Chakra to complete her quest to get her to help me out with that room in the high halls. Is there a more dynamic way that I can draw Chakra? Alright, let's... Oh, hang on. Need to rearrange my desk. I'm going to mute you for a sec. Okay, I'm back. Hopefully that works out. Okay, let's actually go to give you reference images that I'm looking at. So I'm on the wiki. Let's go see, what do we want? Silksong. We got some NPCs. Let's take a look, see if there's anything in Chakra's design that looks more interesting. We got fitting. Oh, she does have a quill. All right, hang on. image in new tab. Okay. So she does have a quill. That's not super far off from what I was imagining. Is there a way to make it more interesting, though? Is there... Can we maybe do... Maybe if we do Chakra as a smaller figure here. Oh, Chakra has actually got shoulders. That's great. Okay. Do some anatomy here. And then actually if we make it even smaller, oops. Even smaller and put her just kind of in a corner here. And then have the, this, okay, what I'm envisioning, I don't think I'm gonna have time to do, but that's, you know, is what it is. We have her pushing down here, drawing out the map. And we have like a pile of, gosh, bodies over here. No, hang on, one sec. Dog's calling me. I'll be right back. Just hang on. Okay, dog is inside. It had started raining. I understand why she wanted to come in. I won't begrudge her that. Okay, so if we are looking at, where are we? We're here. We're back. Great. Oh, I forgot to turn on extra fancy light. There we go. So yeah, so if we have like a pile of bodies, she's in a big cave system that she's just explored. It's maybe a thing to do. So she's here, she's got her quill. Yeah, again, I don't know if I have time to be able to do all of the background in the caves. And once again, actually, you know what? That's actually... I think I'll need to change the proportions and perspectives here. But I think using detail to bring this out is actually maybe something that I can do. I think we'll probably take this base, though. So let's get myself another sketch layer. And then we'll try this out. Oops. If we do the close-up on Chakra, probably. Their shoulders. little bit of the paper curling up here. Which again, I'm going to take some liberties and make it a scroll more so than just a bunch of flat papers on the ground. Well, he is right-handed, so her quill. Arm is resting here on her leg. Once again, take some creative liberties. We'll say she's... yeah. Arm's gotta be, in terms of length, about there. So she is sheeting her shoulders forward a little bit. So that's... okay, so if we do that, and then instead of her being in the center, if we cheat her off to the side a little bit, then have just like an out of focus something in the background. No, maybe we don't need the pile of bodies just to save myself some work. But I want to... we're going to imagine this as... maybe the Mossy Grotto? Something with some color, because I do want to have something in the background. Or maybe... no, I keep trying to do the deep docks, and that's... I can't seem to get that background looking right. And that's not really what I want to focus on today, so... you know what, let's just go back to my reference images and just choose a location. Try to avoid spoilers, hopefully... nope, don't want bottled water, that's gross. Shellwood, is there something fun in Shellwood? Do we have some pictures? Yeah, okay, so we'll do... she's in Shellwood, because I do like that idea of a background. So we'll do... just in the background, she's got just, these weird stalactites with things growing off of them. And then there'll be some vines hanging outside the cave. He's inside of a cave, and... we have like a fire here, maybe? This is working by a fire. We have some of the background. Yeah, I think maybe that's what we'll do. Okay, yeah, we're just gonna go with this, I think. Resize it, my sketch, so I can have an idea of what I'm working with. And let's get started. So, okay, where... let me think. I want to... nope. Give me my brush, but thank you. So I think what I want to do is have... so if I make the focus on... yeah, so I can really just focus, like, make the focus on Chakra's armor and kind of go from there, and I think that'll be great. So, first things first, we have... let me rename my layers to make sure that we are up to date. Oh, did my camera... so, yeah. Are we back to... yeah. We're close enough to normal. That's fine. So, sketch. Which will be on the top layer. I'll just lock that because I don't need to adjust it anymore. We'll do... first layer is the far background, so we'll rename it to far ground. And this will be the layer of the big stalactite. Let me get my brush. And we will go with... What colors do I want to do? Because I don't necessarily... Let's go with a green. We'll do... Because it'll be green and orange. Maybe a little bit of teal in there. Should be fine. So we'll have the greens, the orange, like a bit of teal. So it'll be on this end of the color wheel. So we'll start with dark green. It'll be pretty pale because it's in the background, so desaturate it quite a bit. And then this will be a big filler thing in the background. I will probably add a blur over top of it because, again, digital painting, I can do what I need to do to get this to work. That goes all the way to the bottom, huh? Alright, so we'll keep it going down. Then there are some smaller ones that are further away, so even more desaturated and lightened. So we'll do a couple of like... is that too desaturated? Maybe. We'll figure it out. Like... Sure that this one is in the foreground still. Well, foreground compared to everything else. This, and then we'll go a little bit more vibrant, and we'll do a couple of things further in front of it. I don't like it right there. I'll do closer here. Which, actually, now that I'm looking at my sketch, is going to be hidden by the cave, so that's maybe not super necessary. So we'll do a couple of vines hanging down here. Can't do squiggles. Squiggles isn't correct. It hangs down. Nope. Nope. This is not the far background anymore. I should be working on a different layer. So let's do that. Give myself a new layer. We'll name this one Cave Background. And then we will give this one a fairly vibrant... Whoopsies. Try this again. Ah, wrong buttons. Fairly vibrant green. That is not... Oh. Did I not? Oh, I didn't give myself the vibrant green. Maybe not vibrant, just a little bit more saturated. A brush for now. We have that there. We'll do the ground. Ground will be probably a darker green, I think. maybe just a little bit more of a brown. Whoa, not that. Doesn't feel right. No, because I want Chakra's armor to be standing out as the brighter color. So we'll go back to, maybe we'll make the ground more of a blue, because the water is kind of that bluish green I'm looking at. So we'll do that. This is the ground here. Shaka is... Nope. We're doing ground as a different layer. Different layer for ground. We'll do... ground here so that she's sitting in an overhang a little bit. And then the far background will have some water. And then the actual far background, I don't want it to be white. I kind of want it to be yellowish green, very pale. Grab that, grab the fill bucket. That's probably pretty good. Maybe a little too saturated for what I want. Go a little bit more yellow. A little bit lighter. Try it again. Yeah, okay, that's fine. We'll do the lighting effects on a separate layer later. That's the... what we'll call it, the background color. So we got that, we got the far background, we got a layer that doesn't do anything yet, cave background, and we got... oh, didn't rename that properly, so... that is the... let me rename that to ground. Cave ground. Great, and now that's all together. Let us add a group for now. Group that together. We have the full background. Excellent. And then we'll just lock that because I don't want to adjust it. Great. So we'll build in some more that layer later. Okay, now let's first build up the fire, I think. Give myself a light source to work with as we go. We'll do... ooh, what color is the wood? The wood, I want to stay kind of in the gross greenish thing, because we have driftwood that is being colored by everything, and then I can add some of the warm tones to it from the actual fire itself. But we'll start with just a little fire at the edge here. That does not look like wood. That's fine. We'll go give it just a little bit of... nope. Nope, nope, nope. I can't do it. That color's not... that color's just not it, guys. That's it just has to be darker. I'll try. Okay, how am I going to render this? I want... actually, you know what? I don't need to draw the wood at all. I can just hint that it's there. And then make sure that she's responsible. And we'll give her some rings of stones. She's protecting the fire. Building it responsibly inside of a stone circle that she set up. And the fire itself, fire has its own color. We'll start with I'll start with just an orange. It will have to change and get more details for sure, but this will be where we're starting from. Got the sketch. Yeah, it reads as fire enough for now. I will again, of course, be adding to it. Oh, I think actually I need another. I forgot to add a water layer to the background. And then we'll do grab this ground color. Nope. Okay. Great, that's enough water for now. We'll leave that there. Rename this to fire layer. Keep that there for now. I will need to definitely add more to it. But let's continue. Give myself... Alright, so let me think about this. Chakra, I want to have several layers. I'm going to want to really render her armor, so I'm pretty sure I want that to be a separate layer from her limbs. And then, yeah, so we'll do, okay, so, okay, let's get some nice golden-ish armor for now. And again, we'll fill in the details later. Big torso. Render that, and altogether, I think I want to render the tail thing separately. That way I can adjust how much sticks out. So we'll give her another layer behind everything for the tail. Which I actually don't know if it's a tail or if it's something else. But that there. Let's bring Chakra's reference back up. So I can see, oh, Chakra's shoulders are... Okay, that's not what I remembered it being. That's fine. Let's give ourselves a new layer here. Give it just solid black for now. I will probably want to change that later. So we'll do shoulder heat. No, I need a different picture of Chakra for now. What is her design? Okay, no, you do have big shoulders. They're just black. Okay. Great. There's going to be shoulders. And then do a silvery quill. Ooh, now here's the question. Do I want to do different layers for each of Chakra's limbs? Is that overdoing it? Maybe. But at the same time, I think I will just oops. Do that for now. Mostly so I have the most options for adding details later, because again, adding details not my specialty, so let's give myself a lot of room to work with. For example, this right here. Actually, this is just in the wrong spot, so this has got to go behind the body. Give her... oh. I'm gonna say I don't think I need the legs to be on different layers. Those can probably both. Because they're not going to be interacting with each other at all. They're kind of on opposite sides of the body. So I can really just play around with and mess around with that separately. That should be fine. Do the body here. Let's... oh. That's why. Arm. What is happening? Why is... Okay. I'm doing the wrong arm. That's why it's not working. Okay. Okay. And again, I didn't name my layers. This is on me. So this will be left arm. Arm will be right arm, will be body, and they'll have legs. And we'll just call it a tail, even if it's not a tail. Cool. Get rid of the sketch. Seems good. Okay, so the legs actually go a bit further down, so they're hitting the ground and supporting her body. Okay. And then on top of everything, we'll do the head. So, oops. Again, let's rename it to head. So we'll give her, I think, just a pure white mask for now. Maybe adjust it later. Goes so. Rounded at the bottom a bit more. Just slightly too. Whoopsies. Slightly too tall. Although, maybe not. Maybe it's fine. Let's just put the head on top of everything so I can work on it nicely. It's a much shallower curve than I was drawing. It is currently too far down, I realize that, but just trying to get the shape correct for now. It's a slightly better shape. Not. Oops. What is going? Okay, so the here the point is here. It's relatively symmetrical at the bottom. This one's got to go out a bit further. I think it's too thin? Yeah. Give it a relatively wide face. That looks better. Still not quite what I'm going for, but certainly closer. Whoops. Ah. Okay. Good enough. Rotate it a little bit. Here. Whoa. Give her some eyes. Head's too long. Hang on. Does that feel like chakra? Almost. Okay. Got these a larger brush. Braids, which actually, now that I've done that, I'm going to undo it because I think this should be a separate layer. I'm going to want it to go behind the arm as well, whereas the rest of the head, I want to make sure I can put that in the front. So, give us a new layer. Name this hair. Hair will go behind the head and the arms. So, go. It's a little too long. Great. So the head. Oops. A little bit, the hair. Well, I guess technically these are probably antenna, huh? Because they're bugs. Okay. So I think we have the groundwork set up now. Hacker's head looks close enough. Cool. And then the last thing we'll need is a prop. Actually, we'll do. Let's group everything together. This group will be called chakra. Nope. Sorry, I think you guys lost some of the music there for a sec. Try this again. Now we're do background. Okay, so get chakra. We're gonna everything move her over a little bit, I think. Let me recenter everything so I can see compositionally where she's gonna end up. Here, be a little bit higher up. And the fire, just resize this a little bit too. Get bigger and then bring it further down a little bit off screen. So we can have more of a showing that she's on a platform and we're kind of looking down at it. So just give a bit more perspective. Great. Okay, so cool. This is where we're starting with. Let's think. I want to do I think I need to put the parchment on the ground a little bit as well. We'll give chakra in here. Add another layer for the parchment. Go with probably just a pale color. Pale pan, maybe somewhere around here. Okay, and then parchment will be laid out kind of here probably. Should have a couple of sheets of it around. Curling up a little bit, so we'll get some lighting on there, some shadows there, a couple of bits underneath, which we will add details to. Great. Cool. So we have that all laid out. We'll do start working on the details. Okay, and because I want to work on the details to bring focus to things, where I want the most detail to be will be around the face area. So we're going to start with the armor just as a whole. Grab the body. Find the shape a little bit. Now I get to decide what the shadow colors are going to be. So because we're going to have a fire in front of us, we're going to have a nice warmer color. We'll go a bit more towards the orange, just ever so slightly. We'll just have like the highlight be here, just kind of reflecting it. And then she has the the arched things here. So I have a little bit of a orange highlight. Actually, let's hide the arms for now. I can just work on this without those getting in the way. We'll have this working in there. And then we'll lock the transparency so I can just paint up to the edge without it going over. I don't need to worry about that. Start off with the detail here. I'm going to imagine that there is a crease that goes along here. It's kind of in an arc. And then in the shadows, we're gonna have to go a bit more towards the green, I think. Just because we have the ambient green around it. So, back to starting here. Go slightly towards the green. This. That's slightly too much. Okay. What if we don't move towards the green at all? Yeah, I don't like that color at all. I think maybe I just need to set a different base tone for this, and then that can just be like the rim bounce light. Yeah, okay. Just gonna darken it down a little bit. At the head for now, so I can just get into here. Solid line here, actually. So that I can show that it's a sharp crease in there. Have it fully a different shade. It's like harsh contrast. Ooh, it's not the color I wanted. Okay. This one, because it's just a big round ball, will have a much more gradual fading to the other color. And we'll do something similar for the tail as well. And then we'll grab some of this darkest color. Ooh. Now unlock that because I need a little bit more shape up here. Okay. Right now it's a little rough. I think actually what I want to do is grab this one. I just, oops, once again, cut back on the orange right now. I'll add the lighting effects later, but for now, I really want to just build up the base color and make sure that this is looking as I want it to. Here. And again, I will go back in and because I don't want to change the shape of this edge right now. Yeah, so if we really just highlight the sharp edge, harsh edge right there, it's probably enough. Okay, and then, ooh, how I want to really just zoom in here. Get the highlight along here. That is the lighter color. Again, hide this a little bit. Take this so I can your time matching the brushstroke to the way that I imagine the texture of the armor goes. And then we'll do the opposite here, so we'll have the darker shaded color. Following that. That there. Make sure that it goes all the way to the edge of the armor. Okay. I think I see a little bit of a gap right there, which I don't necessarily want. Okay. Oops. I want to find a little bit of a middle ground in there. Oops. Grab that. Ever so slightly, just. Give myself a little bit of that texture in there because it can be bits of detail in there. Great. Okay. We'll do so around here. Again, get rid of the darkest greens there because that's not what I want it to be. Okay. Whoopsies. Sorry about that. Okay, and that's just a big bulb, basically. There's no real texture in there, so fine. Bit of bounce light at the edges, just to define the shape. Great. Back to the tail. Okay. That's I gotta stop messing around with it, because if I keep going, it's just gonna keep being rough. I'm just not gonna actually make progress on the rest of the piece, which I have only half an hour left to really work on. So let's leave that for now. The arm. Bring that down a little bit. Get rid of the tangent there if I can. Have the arm go instead down and across. Body. Bring that up a little bit too. Arm. Actually should be behind the body, technically, so body I need to do this. Left arm. Shoulders, great. Okay. The head of chakra, great. Oof. To tangent with the breastplate necessarily. Head should be probably here. I'll move the hair match just a little bit. Even lower actually, because she's looking down at it. We'll do that. That seems fine. Okay, so that's there. I'm going to need to start to really define other elements of the drawing now, so add some of the details of the parchment. Back to a brush, grab this. Slightly darker, saturated. Do some shadows here. Oh, that's right, I can lock the transparency. But I want it to be a little bit more saturated here. Yeah, that's slightly better. What I wanted it to be. And do this. Up just a little bit. Into occlusion. Here. little bit of a darker shadow on this side here. So we can show that there is a little bit of a edge here, casting more of a shadow. Oh, now I'm getting confused about where the lighting is coming from. Next question is, do I even need all of that? Or is it just having like a little bit here is fine, and then if I grab this, let's go for like a real dark. Oops. It's okay. Right. Okay, let's go back to the fire. Okay, so we now have fire here. Let's do a little bit to line up the edges of the rocks where I imagine the rocks to be. Start making it feel like it's affecting the there's fire affecting the environment around it. Some light here. Actually, I should probably have gone much more pale with that. Grab this, and then we'll lighten this up a little bit just to add a bit of a more of a mid-tone here. Barely anything there because these are in the shadows, so we'll do mid-tone here. Much more on this side of the fire as well. Back up. We'll go from here, and then we'll go darker shade darkest areas. This, we'll grab some Oh, no, actually, because I want some embers in there, so we'll go with some reddish browns. Coals in there. Back to the orange for the underside of the logs a little bit. No, I'm now overworking it a little bit. Grab here. Here. A little bit of red in here. A little bit of texture to the fire. Yeah, I'll go some yellow. Just kind of once again lock the transparency. That's not yellow enough. I need much brighter. Maybe not brighter, maybe lighter. Oops. Okay, I think that's probably good enough for the fire for now. I need to then, I think, go back to really focusing on the lighting effects that the fire will have on ground around it. So, cave ground, I'm just going to go with a big airbrush, grab some orange, make sure it's pretty light. Maybe that's warmer. Big airbrush. Make sure that it's cave ground. Bring up the cave around here too. I definitely want it to be more orange here. Ooh. not the brush that I wanted. Do that again. Lock the transparency. Oh jeez. Nope. Okay, now we go in, grab this, brush, orange, rotate this. Oh, we're not in the ground. We want to go in the parchment. Where's the parchment? Parchment. Actually, because this is lighting, I don't necessarily want it to be fully visible as a reflective line like that. So I think what I want to do is just do airbrush. Once again, make sure I lock the transparency so I don't accidentally go over places that I don't want it to be. And then the arm, once again, transparency. I want it to be reflecting off of the quill there. A little bit on the arm itself. Great. Okay, and then legs, something similar there. And then because this one's in the shadows a little bit, we'll do, oops, once again, fancy. I don't really want actually much on that one at all. Back to the arm. Smooth it out a little bit. Left arm. Oh, I didn't... Shoot, I didn't make a swatch of the color that I was using. There, and let's do there. Okay, cool. Let's go for the adjusting the head now. We will make it more orange because again it's going over top of a white mask, so to be here, and then we'll have to do some shadows on there as well, so because we have a greenish background, we'll do shadows here. Pull that back a bit. And then the... Oop. Probably want it to be... It's too red. think that's too much. To be. I think actually what I want to do is we're going to go back to the black here, so that the eyes are all detailed out correctly. Then what I want the fire to look like is, should we grab that? Let's pick out a bit of a highlight along here. Oof. Yeah, not sure. It's, I don't know. This one is just not working for me today. I think I'm just overthinking things a little bit too much. So, it's, you know, that's kind of what it is. But let's continue to render out some of the background a bit better. Hopefully, if we do that, we'll get some more. It'll make it less uncanny as we get more details in the background as well. If we grab some of the I need to make sure that I pick out some of the oops. That's not the orange that I want it to be. Okay, is it here? Okay. No orange on this side because this is in the shadows technically. Oh, this is the body. I'm not supposed to be painting on the body. That's the tail. Okay. The part that's really kind of getting hit by the... is that one, and then we'll just do some more painting out here, because we have the body way of that. Oof. Oof, this is not my favorite piece, if I'm honest. Hmm. In the cave ground, I'm just gonna add another the airbrush to a dark blue for the shadow. We need... Whoa, whoops. Okay, that's helped it somewhat, but it's still not... Background needs a little bit more detail to it. Once again, I'm basically at a time. Whoa, definitely not that. Okay, and I need our background. Let's add a add a filter, blur. Yeah, that's fine. Background color as well. We'll do a blur. Okay. And then we'll add some lighting effects coming in. Layer. Okay. That's... Okay, it's come together a little bit. I think I need to, I don't know, really spend some time working on just the detailing of things. I need a bit more of a shadow around here because there's going to be the rocks in the way. The fire, the cave ground. Not actually necessarily a soft brush that I want there either. They're going to be like harsh shadows because the light source is so close. And the body's actually also going to need another shadow as well because the arm is going to be casting a shadow on it. Okay, better, still not quite what I want it to be, but I think I am currently just too close to it today to really see what it is that I need to or want to try to change. So I might actually just have to call it here and be somewhat unhappy with how it looks. No, that's not helping. I wonder if I need to just do like a rim light around here to bring it up. Yeah, alright. I think that's... We're gonna have to call it there for today. Don't feel like it's my best work. I definitely need to, I think, look up how to actually render fire in a painting style, because I know how to draw it as a cartoon. I kind of know what it does to the the world around it. Shape-wise, I think it's fine. Color-wise, it's off. Something is wrong. I need to look into that, I think. And so I think maybe I will... Not happy enough with this one to, I think, use it for the thumbnail. But what I will do is I think I want to try to continue this next week with fresh eyes to try and figure out what went wrong and what I can do to improve upon it for next week. Because right now it's not come together for me. So apologies for the slightly disappointing end to the stream, but I will be playing more Silksong on Monday morning at 9:30. I will be back to probably continue this piece next week to really try to figure out how to make it work. So if you're interested in kind of seeing the improvement on this, join me next week at 9:30 in the morning. But that's it for now. Have a great weekend, and I will hopefully see you either Monday or next week. Take care of yourselves.